Uh-huh. Yeah, we back. Yeah, I kind of learned your strategy now, Instagram. I learned your strategy. Focus it on alcohol. All the Instagram, I learned your strategy. I learned the strategy now. And we are back. And we are back. Okay, here we go. Now, family, let's go right back into this. Let's go ahead and delve back into this area right now. Go ahead and bring them all back in. Bring them all back in. What is going on here? Okay, there we are. Come on back in, family. Come back in. We in here. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. All right, but we're going to make this happen. See, here's my next point. And by the way, they're not showing me the viewers. Oh, now they want to show me the viewers. Here's my point. We have to own our own everything. Yes? Are you with me on that? We together on that? We must own our own everything. Everything. The phone that I'm using right now, the internet service that we are using, this application that we are using has to be owned by us. We must come up with our own. We have the ability. We have the finances. Yes, we do. Yes, we do have the finances. We have the ability. We have it all. There is no such thing as us not being able to do it. We do. We have all the money, but we want to focus it on alcohol. All the money, we want to focus it on marijuana. All the money, we want to focus it on everything else that will not help to benefit us entirely as a group of people. That is our problem. We have the money, but we have our money directed in the wrong direction. Simple. Oh, it's pausing again? Ooh. Hey, Instagram, you playing now. Don't do it now. Come on, Instagram. I know you can do it. Don't try to shut down little old me when you have people all over this thing putting up butt naked men and women and doing a whole bunch of nonsense and idiotic, ridiculous, inappropriate stuff. But when somebody's dropping facts, you want to cut off the brother. Don't do that. Instagram is extremely petty. Okay. Oh, you never seen it? Oh, all right, Instagram. Hey. Let it get to 300 and watch what I do. Get to 300, watch what I do. I'm letting off. I'm just letting you know right now. Oh, no. Let's let it get to 300 real quick. Let's let it get to 300. Oh, they're kicking people out too. Okay, fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and just start teaching on this. I'm going to go ahead and drop all the facts on this so that we can go ahead and get it through. Those of you who can see it, raise your hand, wave, let me know that you can see it. Say yes if you can see it. If you can hear me, if you can see me clearly, say yes. I'm about to go ahead and just make this happen. I don't care what they say, but I'm about to give you all the facts that you need, that you came here for. That's my point. All right. Boom. There we go. Now, number one, we need to understand that everything that we do, everything that we have, everything that we possess, everything that we are around must be owned by us. We must own it all. We have to own it all, and that's the point. We must own everything. Everything that we need, everything that we use, everything that we like, everything that we are around, we must own it. And that's why, as of right now, all the issues that you're seeing going on right now is because black folks are not owning enough. Very simple. We must own the transportation systems that we desire to use. We must own our own phones. We can go to Africa and get the coltan that is being utilized within these phones. We can get that. You heard me good? Thank you. We can go to Africa and we can contract with those mineral resources. As of right now, Africa wants us to contract with them. They want us to come over there. They literally are waiting on us. Did you know that? Did you know this? They are waiting on their brothers and sisters from here to go over there and contract with them, do business with them, build business, do everything. They have land ready. They have it all ready. So we can go and do that. Number one. Number two, there are over 1,182 stores, 1,182 locations for Nike in over 45 countries. What is my point in giving you this? The reason why I'm making that statement is so we can all understand here. If Nike, a company which was originated in the state of Oregon by some Caucasian individuals, and worn by mostly black and brown individuals. If they can do such a thing, go into original countries. They're all throughout Asia. They're all throughout India. They are in the Philippines. They are in Malaysia. They are in Thailand. They are in Taiwan. They are in all of these different places. If they can go there, make connections, establish all of these different business ventures, we then can do the exact same thing. Now, I see it skipping. That's why I paused for a second, because I see it skipping. Okay, now, so we can do the exact same thing. Yes, not just boycott Nike. No, duh. I'm going to go over a list of companies right now that invest in prisons. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Do you mind if I just go ahead and dabble into a few of the companies that are owned, or a few of the companies that use prison labor? What I mean by this is, number one, you have family who is in prison. All right. Now raise your hand if you got some family in prison. I got some. I got some family that's in prison. Yes, I have family that's in prison. Raise your hand if you have family in prison. Raise your hand. I'm going to go over some of these companies right now so that we can understand that there is a absolute agenda when it comes to this. Absolute agenda when it comes to this. There are companies that many of you spend your money with. Some of us spend our money with these companies without knowing that these companies invest in prisons. This is why I hate having Verizon, because Verizon invests in prisons. I hate that. See, there are certain things that we have no choice but to use at the moment. At the moment. Antonio, thank you for your support via Cash App. I hate the fact that Verizon has prisoners working between 15 to 20 cents an hour in the call center. In the call center. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Let me know if you heard me. Verizon, the call center. The job which has the highest level of pay is call centers, are call centers within prisons. Prisons. They utilize prisoners to be and work in call centers for Verizon, for AT&T, for Sprint. If you have any one of these three, I know you're feeling a little bad. I'm feeling bad too. I have Verizon. I hate that. You understand? I hate it. This is why Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, may Allah be pleased with Brother Muammar Gaddafi, who was the leader over in Libya, he was attempting to establish an African central currency to eject and erect a satellite over Africa so that we would not have to use any of the European satellites to communicate. They were going to establish an entire phone and connection system, an entire system of communication so that we would not have to go through any of these communication systems powered by the prison industrial complex. Many of you, thank you, Jaleel, for your support via Cash App. Many of you have family who was in prison. Many of you have family who were going to be let go and brought out of prison. But do you know why they kept them in prison? Some of them are kept in prison to maintain the 100% occupancy. Why? Because prisons have been contracted with companies like Whole Foods, companies like Sprint, companies like AT&T, companies like Eddie Bauer, companies like Microsoft, companies like Dell, companies like Victoria's Secret. All of these different companies contract with prisons. Companies like your good old Starbucks, companies like BP Oil and Gas, companies like Nintendo, companies like Target. They right on target. Companies like Union, companies like Kmart, companies like Boeing, companies like Macy's and Macy's. Oh, see, they're trying to bring my connection down again, huh? They're trying to bring my connection down again? Yes, Whole Foods. Yes, Victoria's Secret. Yes, Macy's. Yes, Wendy's. Yes, Verizon. All of these companies. Yes, McDonald's. You shouldn't be eating at McDonald's anyway. Yes, all of these companies contract with prisons. Companies like Revlon. I know some of you sisters use Revlon as far as your makeup line goes. Thank you, Jimmy Nixon, for your contribution. Here we go. Thank you, Jimmy Nixon, for your contribution. Here we go. Thank you. Yes. Companies like JCPenney. Companies like, oh yeah, give me the rest here. Nordstrom. I know some of y'all go to Nordstrom and Nordstrom's Rack. Yes, I know. Companies like Motorola. Motorola is another company. I know some of you are like, okay, well, what's the point? Okay, my damn point is to help you to understand that these companies invest in prisons. American Airlines, look at that. For those of you who travel like myself, American Airlines, you might not want to use them. Companies like Pfizer, the drug manufacturer. Companies like Sara Lee. Some of y'all brothers and sisters out there with them Sara Lee pies and cakes and muffins, get away from Sara Lee. Companies like Avis Rent-A-Car. Damn, I didn't know that. Come on, Avis. Dang. Call centers. Most of these are for call centers. Prisoners are paid between 15 to 20 cents an hour. An hour. To work in a call center. Damn. Do you know why? Why is it that prisons have to be at 100% occupancy, 100% capacity? Why? Because these companies invest in cheap slave labor. Why would I pay somebody $8 to $10 an hour, $12 an hour when I can go ahead and contract to get an entire prison where I only have to pay people 15 to 20 cents an hour? I save millions. I become extremely viable, meaning I have to spend less and I make so much more. That is what these things are. So there is something called corporate influence over prisons, corporate influence over legislative bodies, corporate influence over laws being passed to guarantee that the prisons are manufactured to maintain a heavy, steady influx of clientele and inmates. Corporations help to influence the laws which push more people into prison. Corporations help to push laws which help to govern us as citizens. There are corporations which help to pay to get legislators, people who pass laws, to make laws which affect you and me as the citizens walking in the country, to help to make sure that these prisons are full so that these jobs in prison are taken. And they make sure that they keep niggas locked down. Even when they are out, even when they are able to get out. Even when they're able to get out. No, they keep them in. Why? Because the corporations, they got a contract with the prison. Prison got the contract with the corporation. They got to back. They got to back up each other. We got a contract. Y'all better keep these prisons filled. Go out there and serve some more injustice. Go out there and stop and frisk some more black men. Go out there and shoot some more black folks to cause an uproar so that they can go ahead and start a riot, so that we can arrest 20 to 50 people to go ahead and bring them to this prison to work for as temporary workers in these companies because we contracted with you. Yes. There is a such thing as corporate influence over law. There is a such thing as people actually being subjugated to such a thing. Next company, ExxonMobil, the oil company. Nortel is another company. Bank of America. Didn't Bank of America just have a issue right now recently dealing with immigration, and they are pretty much saying that they're going to freeze the accounts of people who they suspect to be Mexicans? You might want to understand. You might want to understand. Oh, it's slowing again, huh? It's lagging again. It's slow again, huh? They trying to play. Okay. Bank of America right now recently just said that we don't know if you are a documented person, a citizen, or if you're an illegal alien, so we're going to go ahead and freeze your account. This is 100% slavery, 100% slavery, 100% slavery. This is why you literally got to stop putting all your money in banks. Learn how to bank at home. Learn how to invest in silver and gold and all of these different things that are tangible for you to have. Why? Because you got companies like Bank of America who literally makes money off of your money being in their bank. So Bank of America also, let's see, which has promoted prison labor, has helped pass laws. Bank of America helped to pass laws. Did you know that? helped to pass laws to increase inmate manufacturing for private corporations. In 2012, Bank of America cut ties with ALEC. Ooh. Hey, real facts. Next point, Procter and Gamble. Another company invested in prisons. Another one, Texas Instruments. Let's see. Another one, Shell Oil Company. Even your gas, man. Even your gas, player. They invest in private prisons. I really hope we are looking at this. United Parcel Service, also known as UPS. Oh, UPS. Do you understand? UPS invested in prison. Woo! All right, but hey, we cracking it open tonight. Hewlett Packard, also known as HP. Some of you have HP. Caterpillar Inc., also known as CAT. The manufacturing corporation. Yes. They have went and worked with ALEC to help to promote prison labor. IBM. I'm going to be finished with this just in a moment. IBM. There are at least 50 of these companies. You need to know all of them. IBM. Thank you very much, Vernon, for your contribution via Cash App. Johnson & Johnson. Some of y'all with your nice little baby lotion, all that. Johnson & Johnson's probably one of the most disgusting, one of the worst quality products to ever put on your skin or your baby's skin. So stop using it. Thank you, Jimmy Nixon, for your contribution via Cash App. Johnson & Johnson, do not use that on your children. They invest in prisons as well. Get away from that. Get you some black soap and some shea butter. If that's too much, get grapeseed oil. If that's too much, get avocado oil. If that's too much, there are many different things you can use on your child's body. But Johnson & Johnson should not be one of them. Next thing, Cargill. Another one supports prison inmates. GlaxoSmithKline, the pharmaceutical company, which you definitely don't want to be involved in taking any one of those medications from them whatsoever. They invest in prison labor. Next one, Mary Kay. Now, some of y'all got aunties, some of y'all got mothers, some of y'all got grandmothers who was pushing that Mary Kay. Y'all remember that? And they would have the contest, and whoever sold the most Mary Kay would get this pink Cadillac car. Y'all, you know, all right, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. That's Mary Kay. Next one, United Airlines. Oh, you bastards! And I bought a ticket for y'all a couple months ago. I rolled United Airlines. Ooh, all right. No more United Airlines. No more American Airlines. I don't give a damn how much the ticket costs. I'm not going with United Airlines. I'm not going with American Airlines anymore. I can't do it. Next one. State Farm Insurance. State Farm Insurance. If you got State Farm, you might want to check out some other ones. Probably Geico. Hopefully they don't invest in prisons. Next one, American Express. Damn. See, here's my point. This is exactly why we have to own our own everything. We have to literally own our own everything. There was a such thing as black airports. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam had airports. Oh my God, Riza, really? Yes, it is absolutely possible. Thank you, Sister Deborah McNair, for your support via Cash App. Thank you, Paul E. George, for your support via Cash App. It is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible for us to have our own airports, for us to have our own bus and transportation systems, for us to have our own clothing, of course, as we know, for us to have our own phone companies, for us to have our own banks, for us to have our own hospitals, our own schools, our own everything. It is absolutely possible. This is why. Because all of these companies invest in making sure your brother and sister, your cousin, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your auntie, your mama, probably your grandmama, stays in prison. Mine too. These companies make sure that they stay in prison. These companies make sure that the Chinese, a lot of them stay in prison. That's some of the Asians, some of the people in the Philippines, some of those who are in India, some of those all over the world stay in prison. So we have to create our own everything. That way we don't continue to contribute to these companies that invest in modern day slavery. Next point really quick before I finish these prisons. People were talking about Michael Jordan. All right, let me say this really quick. Michael Jordan did not invest in prisons. I'm going to say this so that we can all be very clear and everyone can understand. Michael Jordan, the black brother, did not invest in prisons. No, he did not. Michael Jordan contracted with Nike because he was one of the greatest basketball players at the time, and so they offered him a deal for his own shoe that they would own, but they would put his name on it. So that is not that Michael Jordan. He does not invest in prisons. Nike does. And to be very correct, the Michael Jordan that invested in prisons, so we can understand this and be very, very, very clear, was a lawmaker. He was a lawmaker in Oregon. He actually was Oregon's chief administrative officer. As a white man named Michael Jordan in Oregon. The chief administrative officer. All right? The chief administrative officer, a white man who was in the state of Oregon. He is the one who was investing in prisons. And yes, one of the major manufacturers of Nike shoes happens to be in Oregon. I called them in Oregon. The Nike manufacturer in Oregon. They use prison labor to manufacture their shoes. Facts. Since so many know, damn it, I called them. Like you can call them. That the government was going to shut down the entire United States with an electromagnetic pulse or an EMP, which makes no sense whatsoever. That means planes in the air would fall down, all communication will be wiped out, etc., etc. They did not say that they were going to ecosystems. They said, no, we're going to conduct to test to see in a case of emergency, we can actually one of the executive orders of the United States president. Michael Jordan over in Oregon, who used to be the chief administrative officer. Next fact. That was just to clear that up. He's not a decent brother. Okay? He's not a decent bull niggas and low lives. Yes, he said it out of his own damn mouth. He's not a decent individual. And if I ever had the chance to sit down with him, of course I admire his talent, but I don't admire his character as a human being. Next point. Let us make this very clear, family. Colin Kaepernick. The quote with his face on it, puts black people in a position where they feel subconsciously and consciously that by me contributing my money to Nike is me being a part of the movement. Let me say that again. Colin Kaepernick's face has become synonymous with the movement. So therefore, because his face has become synonymous with the movement, by attaching his face to Nike shoes, attaching his face to Nike apparel, makes his face and makes Nike apparel and anyone who invests in such apparel feel as though they are a part of the movement. Do you understand? You are actually doing something to uplift your people. You feel like you are doing something to actually go into a state of independence. You feel like you are going towards some form of progress. And therefore, Ben Malcolm El Hajj Malik El Shabazz said, you've been had. You've been bamboozled. Run amok. They got you. Again, Kaepernick. The name Kaepernick means victory of the people. Victory of the people. The name Kaepernick means victory of the people. So if you want to support him, then go to his website and donate to his foundation. If you want to support him, but by going to Nike, you are supporting prisons. You are therefore supporting the fact that your mother, your father, your nephew, your niece, your uncle, your auntie, your grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your sister, your cousin is possibly in prison, and you are helping to keep them in prison and maintaining a steady influx of prisoners within this prison, and therefore you are supporting modern day slavery. Purchasing Nike is supporting slavery. Donating to Colin Kaepernick's foundation directly is absolutely contributing to him, as well as the Know Your Rights or I Know My Rights camp, as well as everything else that he's doing. I don't have a problem with that. Personally, hoodwinked, you damn right. Personally, I feel that we have this thing with us where we jump on everything so quickly without looking. There's a reason why we have two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, but one mouth. Two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, which means we should be doing more looking, more listening, more sniffing and testing out than talking. Analyze. Use your senses and analyze. You have two sides of the brain. Analyze before you jump on something that you think is good, because you may make a mistake. You may make a mistake and do something which will indirectly and directly cause your people to go backwards. Next point, the moment we separated and went into segregation, we were more successful. More successful. What is my point? We had over 60 all-black towns during segregation. 60 all-black towns during segregation. After 1863, but during construction, which was between 1865 to 1877, we all went back to school for the majority. We went back to school, became lawyers, became doctors, became congressmen, congresswomen. We got doctorate degrees in all of these different areas. We did all of these different things. We started to remember our languages, started to remember our culture, started to actually do for self and establish independent towns like Little China, Little Armenias, Little Cambodias. All of these people who have established their own, we established our own as well. We were highly successful. We were highly articulate. We were doctors. We were architects. We were engineers. We were bank owners and bankers, mathematicians, etc. And what did we do? We established these towns without attacking white folk, without doing anything negative to anyone else. We were separate, not equal, but separate in our own